Hey guys, it's Will here. I wanted to show you a pretty amazing and exciting way of finding stocks that you like and sectors. There's a couple of different ways that I can think of that I'm going to talk about that you can focus on. One is what sectors are doing well, like now, this year, let's say year to date, which incorporates the aspect of the coronavirus and all the impacts of that. The other way to look at this I thought about was look at what was happening before the crash and what was doing really well. Because sometimes you might want to buy stocks that are good quality, that were doing really well, and just got hit by by this impact of the pandemic. And so that indicates, that could indicate that these are good companies and they were doing really well prior to this. Now, certain companies in sectors are negatively impacted more than others because of, like, for example, travel and stuff like that. There's some issues right now with retail and home building, airlines and stuff. So you have to be a little bit careful in terms of just assuming that those things will be doing well in the near future. But so you could be looking at whether the stocks are going to be doing well now. You could consider, as we recover, the stocks that were doing really well before are going to probably continue that process again. So this is a little different than what I've done in the past, like in the past few videos. So it's more of a sector analysis. So TC2000 has this amazing feature. There's a tab that comes, is there when you open up TC2000. And it's called sector by year. And I was using this before January, like before the crash, essentially. And there were some unbelievable finds here because of the way this is organized. So instead of scanning and just kind of searching for things and seeing what pops up, this is more top down and looking at the sectors and stuff. So I'm going to start with looking prior to 2020, so prior to the pandemic, so 2019, and see what was doing really well. And so this gives you the sectors and then the industries within each sector, and then the actual companies. So it's a top-down approach. It's really nice as you drill down. So what we'll do is we'll sort. This is just based on the percentage gains of the companies. There's other ways you can evaluate companies, like I mentioned. Look at the earnings, look at the dividends, whatever whatever you're interested in. But at a simple level, we want to see what's performed the best. That's the ultimate, result of what we're doing here. So if I sort 2019, it was obvious, like when I was doing this last year, just late last year, that technology was doing really well. So you've got industrials, financial services, consumer cyclical, real estate. So right now, it depends on how fast and what happens with the recovery, but financial services are obviously a bit dicey, real estate. So you might notice consumer defensive might be okay, consumer cyclical. But technology was really, really doing well. Healthcare. So, and you can see energy, is doing pretty bad, and it's continuing to do so. At this point as well. But so if we click on technology, we get the industries down here, the industry indexes. So I'm going to sort 2019 as well. So you've got semiconductor equipment, and if you click on each of these, you get the stocks down below, and then I'll sort the 2019. So you can see here that this Enphase Energy, if we scroll back a bit, for the year of 2019, this was actually 450%, as they show here. That's incredible. So you can take a look, and then if you look at the current situation, there has been a recovery of 67%. It's kind of stuck at the 50 moving average right now. But within the other areas of the technology You've got memory. You've got consumer electronics. So you could look at Apple, let's say. So that crashed from 320 down to 220 essentially, or 210, depending on if you look at the wicks here. But you've got a recovery of 25%. It just broke through the 50 moving average. There's a nice uptrend here. So obviously Apple's a good company. You know, there's issues with China. There's, you know, they always have various concerns, but you could look at various stocks here. Sony Corporation had a 40%. So the technology did really well. Consumer electronics is another, or I did that one. Solar was doing pretty well. I'm not sure what's going to happen with solar just because of with oil being really low, but so people are still interested in solar. And you can see that we're at the 50 again. A lot of stocks are kind of just around the 50 moving average right now, 44% from the lows. So this is an incredible way to find stocks and to sort of see all the different sectors and get a more of a top-down view of what you know various sectors are, and sort of it's a nice organized structural approach to looking at this. So if we go to industrials, that's the second one. Pollution and treatment. So there's this water. I noticed last year water was doing really well, aqua. So it has a 97% last year, and it's come back 80% or more from the low here. And it's got a nice uptrend, and it's closing in on the 50 and 200 moving average. So, you know, you'll see if it breaks through that. But let's see, what else do we have? Rental and leasing. So you can just do that kind of approach. If we go to, I'm going to go to consumer cyclical, and you'd be surprised, but there's these auto and truck dealerships did 52%. And this is the index, but if we go down lower, there is Sonic Automotive. And if we scroll back, you can see it had a really good year, 2019. And then it crashed, and then it's come back about 70%. Now, when you go back, you need more gains to get back to where you were. So if you drop 50%, you would have to go up 100% to get back to what it was. Now, that might not happen right away, but these percentages are quite big because of how far down it's come. But as you can see, we're getting as well close to the 50, but there's a nice uptrend. So there's another one here, Lithia Motors. These did 92%, almost 100%. It's incredible in a year. So that's one way to do it. Look at last year and see what were really good companies. And then, you know, it's not guaranteed that those will continue because of the impacts of the pandemic and stuff and which companies are affected. Like, you know, with vehicles, you'd think, well, are people going to be buying vehicles and that type of thing? So, you know, that's going to take some more investigation. But the other way to go is to look at the current year and what's been impacted. You know, it just so happens that, you know, things started around January. So we can look at the year to date. So the last column here is year to date change. And I'm going to sort that. Now everything's down at this point, but the least down is healthcare minus 2.8. So it's coming back, as you can see. And technology and communication services and utilities. So as you go down, you know, there's more loss, but these are the ones that lost the least, I guess you could say. So we're going to start with healthcare, and I have to sort now based on the year-to-date change, so I'm going to just do that. So the one that's a little bit up is biotech. Now, this is related to the first of the year, January. So biotechnology. So then we go down here and we see Vaxart. So since January, it's been up 762%. So we draw a line all the way up here. You know, we're at the 800%. That's unbelievable. And now this is a penny stock because it was down at 0.3. So, you know, you have to keep that in mind. when you look at these stocks, if you're interested in those. Some of these are fairly, these are penny type stocks, or they were, but this one was $4, and now it is almost 20. So the biotechs have been unbelievable. And obviously, there's some risk, because if they don't get a patent, or if they don't get a vaccine or a treatment or whatever they're doing, the thing can tank. And Novo, you probably know, if you've looked at stocks, you've probably heard these names. But so this is, like I said, I hope this is showing you how powerful TC2000 is for a top-down analysis. If you have any suggestions, I'm just sharing what I've been learning so far. If you have any tips as far as sector analysis, I was using FinViz, and that's okay. You can use that. But once I find the sectors and I have the stocks, not only can I find the sectors and the stocks, but now I've got the chart right here with this is how I mark up the chart, and then I can add it to my watch lists and things like that, and I can do my scan. So it's all integrated, is what I'm getting at. One other thing, let's just go to, so I was looking at technology, and the highest is electronic gaming. And you've got Zynga. That's actually higher than it was prior to the crash. Glue Mobile. Looks like that's even higher as well. Let's see, what else do we have? We got technology. Data storage. Let's take a look at that. GDS Holdings. So yeah, I don't want to keep going on and on, but hopefully you guys are going to check out TC2000. There's a 25% discount if you use the link in the description, and I'm using it. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. And but I'm going to keep doing videos, not just about TC2000, but my experiences with trading as I move forward, and stuff that's going on now with the pandemic and what I'm thinking. But just sharing my knowledge with you guys. And if you have any ideas or any amazing finds, we can all share with each other as far as resources go. And that's my main goal, is just to share really powerful resources that will hopefully benefit you guys. So talk to you guys later.